All right, we are live. I'm not sure if we're up on YouTube yet. I know that we are recording, so I will edit this and put it back out after the live recording. I'm not real sure why this isn't popping up on YouTube.
You're live right now on YouTube.
I am? Okay, good. All right. I'll make sure. Yep, there we are.
No.
All right, welcome to the 3 Putt Podcast, episode 3. We've got Tommy from Pull the Pin.
How's it going?
First episode with Tommy, and we've got Aaron back for his third. Apparently, Aaron just likes to hang out. Today, we're going to talk about the top local courses in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, within like a 45-minute drive or so. Then we are going to chat about the absolute best club to get fit for. What is most important to get fit for? That's Tommy's topic today. And then we'll finish off with, you want to explain the topic?
Sure.
I'll butcher it probably.
Sure. So it's going to be, if you were to have a 4-night scramble and you took the best 4 players from that is signed to every major club company.
So like brand ambassadors.
Yeah, brand ambassadors. So like TaylorMade, Titleist, Cobra, Ping, Mizuno, or this is not the name Mizuno, but
I don't think we made one for Mizuno.
Yeah.
We could pick
Keith Mitchell.
Keith Mitchell's the only one. And Luke Donald.
Yeah.
Boy, they're getting killed.
yeah, not a great start.
Yeah. But it's going to be, who would win, and not only who would win, but how would things shake out?
Awesome. All right, so before we get into those topics, I visited Lancaster Indoor for the first time today. Really good time. Got to hang out with Carlo Gesner. I didn't know, and this is not a knock on Lancaster Indoor, I had no idea how spoiled I was by TrackMan.
Yeah.
Had absolutely no clue. It's insane, the difference. It's not even close.
I mean, we talked about it last night.
Yeah, I know, but like until you actually experience it for the first time,
Yeah.
and as somebody who's only played on TrackMan,
Yeah.
like I really like.
Well, not only are you experiencing it on TrackMan, is that whether you're at Pull the Pin or whether you're at Enjoy, they're doing it right because you got TrackMan, you've got proper lighting, you got RCT Pro V1s. Like you're getting the best possible situation to experience a best possible indoor experience.
Absolutely, I will say like it's still indoor swings. It was still a ton of fun. Got to hang out with Carlo Gesner. Shout out to Carlo. Just had a great time, but I just had no idea how floored I would be at how much better track. I just didn't realize the gap was that big.
Right.
I knew it was big, just didn't know it was that big. All right, so talking about our favorite indoor courses, obviously. We miss Andrew today. He was supposed to be here. Hope everything's good with him. And hopefully, if you saw on Instagram that Enjoy was going to be here today, Andrew couldn't, and he'll hopefully be back next week or sometime in the future. Miss you, Andrew.
Miss you, Andrew.
Let's get right into it, though. I have a couple of ways I want to talk about the local courses. Okay, right? So I'd like to pick our best 5 of each of these topics. Right now, Aaron's been pretty upfront. He hasn't played a ton of these courses.
I haven't played a lot of these courses, but I feel like I'm fairly strongly opinionated on the ones I have.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Tommy has played a ton of courses. I have played a good bit myself in the area, so I want to do top 5 public, top 3 private, because there's just not as many.
Yep.
And we haven't gotten to play as many because we're just not that lucky. You actually probably played more of those than most.
I probably played more private.
I had my Facebook friend. I don't think we've met in person, but he does his own YouTube channel. He was commenting that he's like, I swear you only play private clubs. Like, what the heck? Yeah.
And then I want to do best bang for the buck. Right?
Yeah.
Which is a tough one.
That's a tough one.
Especially in today's landscape.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I mean, it's also seasonal. I mean, there are times where you're getting good deals.
No. This is mid-season, right? Like, this is part of the season, right?
Yeah.
And I want to do favorite to play.
Okay.
So,
can I start with I have one that I'm so strongly opinionated on.
Okay.
My favorite, not only my favorite, but I think probably one of the best public courses around is Iron Valley. I freaking love Iron Valley. Like, I don't know what it is. I played there last summer. I played there probably like 6 times, and it's like an hour drive for me.
It is a hike for you.
But
You're Southern Envoy, yeah.
But Iron Valley is just, I think you get a little bit of everything. You get elevation changes. You get really cool kind of overlooks like the par 3 hole 12. Hole 12, the par 3, that's a great par 3, followed by a really cool par 5. I think that back stretch where you're going the dog leg right up the hill, I love that hole. I just think Iron Valley in general, I would like to put that out there. Iron Valley is my pick for not only favorite, but one of the
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I think Iron Valley, there's a lot. I have a lot of mixed emotions. I've had a lot of good rounds at Iron Valley. I've had a lot of very bad rounds at Iron Valley, and not because of the course. It's just it's
a tough track.
There's a tough track. When the wind blows, it gets even harder. I swear I've never played 2 good 9s there. I've always played either the front 9 well, and you go to the wood area and you can't drive the ball, or you play terrible on the front, and all of a sudden you get to the wood area and you're good. There's no in between. I think they made some good changes recently. The one thing I'd like to shout out at Iron Valley the best is no one runs a event or a scramble as well as Iron Valley. That's without fact. Without a doubt.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that. I think it's a great course. It's got to be up there for the top public in the area. One of the reasons that it is that it's 2 different courses, right?
Yeah.
So like Tommy talked about, you play the links side, the front 9, and you drive the ball, and you can be a little free with the driver, and then you get in the back 9, and you got to get tight. And I think that's why people don't play 2 good 9s there, obviously. But that's definitely, I'm going to just go ahead and say no matter where we go, that's a top 3 public course.
Yeah.
Right? So if we're going to try and put together our 5, that's definitely in the top 3.
I feel comfortable saying that.
Okay.
I would also like to say I've never had a great round. Like I've shot consistently. Like I think my best round there is like 76. So I haven't like put together a really good round.
Well, another thing I love is they have a true championship set of tees.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
They have a 7,000 yards that plays 7,000 yards, which I think is for not a lot of people care about that, but I think it's nice just to occasionally challenge yourself that way, especially if you're a scratch golfer or about because you go and play around there and if you shoot 72 from the tips there, you're like, that's saying something. You shoot 70 or 72 at overlook, you're like, did I really I'm not writing that. Not writing an Instagram post about that, or I'm not posting that.
Well, maybe you're not.
Yeah, I'll take 70. Pretty much anywhere.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, Tommy, Iron Valley's on the list. Throw one on there.
I'm a big links guy. I think all the best courses.
You're going to take mine. I know you are.
I think all of the best courses in the Lancaster, York area are links style. I hope I'm not taking yours, but there's one or 2. We're going to Royal Manchester, of course. For a lot of the same reasons. Championship set of tees doesn't play as long as Iron Valley, I don't think. I love what they've done with the fescue.
So much danger.
I love what they've done with the fescue. The fact that they've changed it to red instead of lost ball, I think it makes it a much more fair course. And also, they've cut it back enough where that if you hit it into the fescue, you earned it. You don't ever hit a good drive there and just sneak your way into the fescue. I think it's a lot like Bent Creek with the outbalance as the fescue. It feels tighter than it is.
Mm-hmm.
If you know the lines you're supposed to take, and if you hit a reasonably good golf shot, you're going to have a second shot. If you don't have a second shot, you earned it.
Yeah.
When it hasn't been, I would not talk negatively about Royal Manchester. They've been so great to pull the pin. They did some promotion with them in the past and everything, but there were times when I first went to Royal Manchester that I would have said those were the best greens I'd put on, period, public or private. I haven't felt that way about them in previous years. I just don't think they've ramped them up like that. I've never played a York Am or Open there. I hear that they get crazy for that. But when those greens are perfect, and they're never unfair. I've never played them where they're unfair, but it's literally to the point where you hit your line and it is going to go in, because they're so smooth, so fast. So Royal Manchester for me is right there. I would rate it over Iron Valley.
So it is by far my favorite public course. I would play it more if it was closer.
Yeah.
I have
not to mention if you are looking for a place to be a member, it's extremely reasonably priced. You got an excellent practice area, great golf course.
okay range, not the best range, but okay. And I believe they have some pretty good instruction there as well.
Well, I mean, I was going to go to the practice facility. I actually like the range doesn't bother me at all. The fact that they have the short game area that they have is just fantastic. The other piece to that course for me is I have my best ever 9-hole total there. I shot 33 on the front nine there, and it's just a ton of fun. I fancy myself a good putter, and when I get hot with the putter, that's a good place to get hot with it. I also just enjoy links courses in general. I don't know what it is. My eyes hate trees, so when there's no trees around, I don't seem to hit them. So Royal Manchester is definitely a top 3 one for me.
I'm okay with that. And like I said, I haven't played a lot of courses. I played Royal Manchester one time, and it was years ago. Like I don't remember. If you told me a hole, I wouldn't remember what the hole was. But the greens when I played there, like what Tommy said, were probably the best public course greens I've ever seen. Like it's just so. Even only playing it once, like it does stick out to me. It's like,
and it gets a lot of play. So the fact that it's as good as it is on a typical, like we often play it on Wednesdays, right? But in our league, we play it usually twice a year. And I've never played around there, even with the greens like recovering from punching, where I was like, I wish I hadn't played golf here.
So I think we can agree. Like we'll say like Royal Manchester 1A, Iron Valley 1B.
I'm gonna keep it at 2 for now. I think if depending on how far out we're willing to go, there might be. I have 2 other courses in mind that are.
Well, I mean, I haven't even gotten to pick one yet.
Well, I'm just saying, depending on where we go with this list, I think there are potential ones that could beat it out.
Okay. All right. I mean, Tommy knows how I feel about this course. I'm very hit or miss down there, but I've played some of my best golf down there, and I think Pilgrim's Oak is just absolutely.
I was going to take one of your picks either way.
Top tier courses. Like the big thing with Pilgrims, the only knock I have on Pilgrims is, I think if they ever sped the greens up, that place could be devastating. The greens are always they're not slow, but they're not super fast. I think, but the layout, the design, the variety of hole, the par 3s none of the par 3s are easy par 3s. They're all challenging.
Number 12 is an iconic hole.
Absolutely.
That is the signature hole.
Absolutely. So I mean, I would throw Pilgrims into the mix here in these top 5. That would be a big one for me.
I think the biggest knock I have on Pilgrim's Oak is there are some pin placements that are just dumb. Even if they're slow, whoever designed 15 green should not be allowed to design golf courses anymore. Like that's atrocious.
So I have to tell a story. It's one of the best shots I ever hit. It was in league play. I was it was on the top tier, and I was up on the rough, and it was like there was just no way I was keeping it up there, and I hit the silkiest flop shot and set it right next to the hole.
No, you hit a flop shot good?
Me? No, I don't hit flop shots.
Wait, are you left-handed or
something?
something?
And I'm trying to. I think I was playing with Brandon in league, and Brandon just looked at me and just shook his head like that's just not supposed to.
And you probably had shanked one beforehand.
Or there's a reason I was up there.
But I mean, like, there's no one that's more volatile during a round of golf than, especially in league play.
I can look like a scratch golf for one moment and look like a 25 handicap the next.
Probably the most adventurous 79, 81 of all time.
Those numbers are going to be a bit lower this year.
I love that.
I would say that Pilgrims has more recently snuck. Like I didn't play it until a year ago for the first time. So when I first got into golf, I was fortunate enough to be able to play Tanglewood during COVID for free. Just go out and walk every day. And obviously Pilgrims is down that way. So after going from kind of exclusively playing Tanglewood for about a year to going to Pilgrims for the first time, I was like, oh, like that's a whole different level. I would say a whole other tier up.
I feel like that course fits your game so well.
What? Which one?
Pilgrims. Yeah. I feel like if you're gonna break par this year, you could go down to Pilgrims in your first round of the year outside par there.
But I think on just about every green at Pilgrims, this is why for me it's probably 4 on this list.
and depending where we go, maybe even 5. I think almost every green has a pin that's borderline illegal, and they use them.
Yeah, and that
Like one front right they use, and that like you miss it, it goes off the right side of the green. 2 back right. I mean, like it's breaking like 9 feet, and then if you miss, it runs like way to the left. Back
2 is just one of the hardest greens in golf.
Any pin on 3 that's on the left side of the green.
2 and 3 are the greens that really stand out to me. But I'm sorry.
It's one of the tougher opens.
Tougher
opening stretches.
Yeah, you're looking to go par at best.
Yeah.
All right.
But like, I mean, I could keep going. I mean, like, and then I think you're fine until like 7 again. Like that back tier is kind of stupid, and then like.
But see, I think the one thing I like about that, is that the course layout is fun.
Yeah.
But it's not overly difficult.
No.
So they need to defend themselves with those green complexes. Now, I do agree some of them are borderline illegal. The cup isn't level, but so I like where you're at with that. I don't mind that being 4 or 5. Who's next? We gonna go back to you, or are we snake draft?
I have one that I would like to nominate. I don't think it's up there at the top, but I think it could sneak into 4 or 5, and that would be Fox Chase.
Interesting.
And the reason that I say, and I don't think it's my favorite layout for a course. I'm not going to say that, but I went there probably 7 or 8 times last year, and there was not one time where that course wasn't in phenomenal shape.
Yeah, I think
it just as far as straight conditions wise.
I think if you're talking course conditions, it's probably higher than Pilgrim's Oak. If you're talking,
is amazing for the amount of play it gets.
I mean, their new superintendent is phenomenal.
So
excellent. I agree. I played Beg Creek was closed a lot this year. I found myself playing Fox Chase often. It has, again, a long enough set of tees. It plays long. The greens were excellent. And I don't want to get myself in trouble here because I know, like, I'm in the golf realm. But, like, the overall experience from price to maybe the people that are the people that you're interacting with, throughout your transaction, maybe aren't the most pleasant. And I mean, I have a hard time swallowing the fact that they have rounds at Fox Chase that exceed go into 3 figures. That's
that. Yeah, I mean that,
and that's a factor.
So I'm gonna jump in here. I think Fox Chase is a very nice course.
Mm-hmm.
I also think it is flat.
Yeah.
I don't think you have to be a very good golfer to play there, to play well there. Like, I'm not saying that you need to be, if you're a 25 handicap, you're going to go shoot 75.
Yeah.
But, I think that you can knock it around that course. You can have a bad day as a good golfer and still shoot a score.
Mm-hmm.
I also, as somebody who's not as affiliated with the golf world, they are insane.
Mm-hmm.
To be sending people off the front and back, risking the conditions of your course, which they have not had a problem with yet.
Yeah, again, I would like to reiterate, superintendent.
The course is in great shape every time I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
And then to charge the astronomical fee that they are charging for a course that is nice.
Yeah, I don't have a problem saying this. I've never gone somewhere where they told me, don't play too fast. Because if you play in under 2 hours, you're going to wait on 10T.
Right.
That is absurd. Guess what? If you ask people to play in 3:30, you don't have to send them off both tees because the people are getting around.
Yeah.
And I get it. I understand. I'm in the business. At the end of the day, they're a for-profit business. I'm sure they've ran the numbers. I'm sure they found, hey, look, customer satisfaction might be down, but it's worth the amount of money, extra money we're going to make. I understand that. Personally, I rather have a 5-star experience than maximize profits, but that's just me.
I'm unless somebody changes my mind drastically, they're out of the top 5 just because they're trying to beat the product into the ground.
I just don't think they have the fan or customer experience at the forefront.
I appreciate the layout that it's not like the same hole over and over again, but none of the holes stand out to me.
I'd agree. I think
17 is about the only one that I think is really cool because, like, you can take on the water a little bit and maybe get after the green from like the blues or the whites.
Yeah.
But visually, it's not. You don't
No,
even see
it's not.
anything.
Well, it's too flat to be visually
Yeah.
cool.
I do think the 1 par 3 over the water school after par 5. I don't know.
Well, hole 8's
I think
nice.
that's- I think
Hole
that's-
8's a nice hole.
I think it's
Yeah, that's a cool hole. What commercial is on right now? What is happening? Anyway, all right, Tommy, what's your next pick? We've got 3 right now, right?
Yeah.
Or 2.
I've
I think
got.
we have 3 in the top 5. We have Pilgrims, Iron Valley, and
So we got 2 to go. I would like. I would say Bully Rock. I think that's outside of our. I think that's too far.
I've never played Bully Rock.
It's a little outside.
So I'm gonna-
but so is one of the private courses that I'm going to throw in there that I've got.
Okay, well, because I think it's a little too far outside of 40. It's not like 48. It's like definitely like over an hour.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave that one out, but I will 100% say Windcoat.
Yep,
has to
bang. Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I would say
I'd say
that
that's one.
it's close. I
I
mean,
mean, it's better than Royal.
and you haven't gotten to play down there yet, have you?
No.
We got to take Aaron to Windcoat this year. That is one of the most fun, difficult, creative, cool, well-designed, all those things,
Mhm.
and you don't have to pay $1,000 to play.
It's like 90, but
But
you don't like go not to keep bringing back up the previous
Yeah.
course, but you pay 90 at one course, you're like those mother. But
Yeah.
you pay 90 at Windcoat, you're like that's all I gotta pay.
If it's
Yeah.
if it's a nice enough course, I have no problem paying a premium to play.
I remember the first time I played the course was in league 3 years ago, and I remember it was our U.S. Open, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And I had to play it. I was hurt, my back. I had screwed it up. I ended up playing really well. I shot 80
Mhm.
in pretty tough conditions, and I just remember walking away from it and being like, I felt like I played multiple courses in one day, and some of the holes, like hole 18, or is it 18 is the one that comes back to the club?
That's
We
the
always play
snaking one. Yeah, 9 is the last. Is the straight out to the left and then back up to the clubhouse on the right. Clubhouse is on your right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
9.
Okay, yeah, because we always play the back
Yeah,
first,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Often.
The 9th hole is like one of the coolest holes ever.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a difficult par 5.
Yeah.
And you can hit it anywhere.
Yeah.
You might lose your ball, but you can hit it just about anywhere. It's just awesome.
And
it's a great course.
True
Is it
3-shot hole.
You
it's
can play
over
it all.
7,000 yet.
Yeah.
I have one of the funniest golf stories I have ever had on Windcoat. So we're playing the back 9 first. We're starting out on 10. It's a par 5.
Yep.
It's straight out. The green shares a green. It's a U-shaped green.
Yep.
It has the 9th hole, a big long area that you'd never put a pin in, but somehow they connect the greens, and then an identical green on the opposite side for 1. And we're playing, it's me, Brandon, and John Bailey. And we all lay up, or I go for it in 2, like just right in front. I think Brandon's also down there, and John says, is that the pin over there? And I'm like, well, yeah, obviously, like it's right in front of you,
I've
right?
heard this story.
It's like the whole straight.
Yeah.
The whole straight. Well, he's looking across the pond at the pin on 1. And he hits this shot, and Brendan and I go, what the fuck did you just say? I don't even know if we're supposed to say that on the pod, but like I'm like,
Sorry.
what?
It's
No,
the
but like
first F-bomb.
no, but
Yeah,
that was there was no other way to like describe it. Like he hits it, and you're like, did he just like you're like, did he shank it? But it sounded like he pured it.
Yeah.
And he lands over there, and he's just like, and we're looking at him like, John, what was that? And he's like, well, it was a pretty good shot. I'm just off the green. And we're like, John, our pin's over here. And we're like, he had just seen us both go for the green. So it's not like he was the first to go. Like we just both hit like in 2, went for it. But like we're right in front. So he thought we would have to have like played like a 50-yard shot over water. And that's where we left ourselves. And we're like, no, it's the pin that's directly in front of our balls. And he proceeds to make 7, and he's just like, I'm such an idiot. Like, he has to, and it's cart path only because it's often cart path only.
Yes, it is.
So he has to walk all the way around the green to go back on the 1. There's a group on 1, so he has to play quickly to get past the 1, bring it back over the water. He just hit over and makes 7. Oh man, it was literally it was unbelievable. I've never been so dumbfounded on a golf course, and I make fun of him all the time about it, and he's like, yeah, I deserve it. Like, senior citizen moment, like, but no.
I think Windcoat.
Talking about Fox Chase not having iconic holes, there you could pick 4 or 5 on that course.
Absolutely. the par 3 or the par 4 into the par 3 off the back. So you go 10 par 5, 11 the long par 4,
which is the brutal hole.
Brutal hole because it's always into the wind.
Always in the wind. Tips play 450.
And then you play a really cool little par 4 coming back, and then a par 4 along the road.
Yeah.
And the par 3 down. It's just a ton of fun to play.
Yeah.
And unlike Royal Manchester, you can hit good drives there that get punished.
Yes.
But it's just a demanding course. I'm actually, guys, I'm going to be playing my Philly AM qualifier there later this year.
Nice.
So, or at least I plan to sign up for that.
So I'm okay putting that as number 1. I hadn't even really thought about that as a public course in the area. You haven't played it. Are you okay with that?
I'm okay with it. If you guys both vouch for it,
I mean,
I'm okay.
it's if you've played Royal Manchester, I'm putting it above Royal Manchester.
All right, so we have 4 now.
Mm-hmm.
We need a 5th, and we need to.
And I'm okay. I'm okay reordering them later, but I mean, for me, of the 4 we've named, I think it goes Wingcote, Royal Manchester, Iron Valley, Pilgrims Oak.
Okay, yeah. All right.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it should be in the top 5. I just played it so much, and I have such strong feelings about it. I need to know your guys' opinions. What do you guys think about cross gates?
Tommy hates it.
I hate it.
I love Jason. I love Jason at cross gates. I love so many.
Too.
I love so many people that play cross gates regularly.
Yeah.
Nobody in this room has played cross gates more than me.
I haven't. Can't tell you the last time I played it where I paid golf to play there.
Well, listen, I'm gonna put it this way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a golfer if it's not for cross gates.
Yeah.
So I started my golf life there. My buddy was the assistant pro. I got a job doing some tree work for them when I was running my own business, and literally played 400 rounds of golf at cross gates in a 2-year span.
Yeah.
I went from not being able to break 100 to being a guy that was, a teens handicap in a 2-year span because I got done with work. I didn't have kids. I wasn't married yet. I know every in and out of that golf course.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Chris Martin does a fantastic job keeping the place in shape. I just I can't do it anymore because it takes forever to play.
Yeah.
It is so penal. There are so many areas that you lose balls, and it's so played, and guys take so long to play it because they can't find their ball.
Yep. Especially along the right side of every hole.
And, that makes it tough. I love the course, though. Jason's fantastic. Chris Martin has been phenomenal to me. Those guys have all been so good to me.
Cross gates went off both sides.
What's that?
Imagine if cross gates went off both sides. Oh, my gosh,
no. So I love the course.
I used to work there. I know Jason. Great dude.
I've known most of the pros over the last 10 years.
Yeah, like I've played the course a good amount. Like one of my first jobs was in the cart room there, so I know the course well, and I would agree that they do a great for how much play there is there.
It's incredible.
They keep it in pretty good shape. My least favorite layout in Lancaster, and it's not particularly close.
I mean, a $40,000 investment in a Ranger would make them, with the dividends, would be so much higher because they could get so much more play if it didn't take 6 hours to play there.
Yeah.
I have a course that I would put in the top 5 if they could keep it in good shape because it's so old.
If you say it, I swear to God.
It's so old and it's so fun to play, and it's not what you think I'm going to say.
I swear if you say it, I'm walking out.
I wish that it was just in better shape, and that's Galen Hall. Galen Hall.
Thank God I don't have to walk out.
He thought I was going to say Donovan Highlands.
Yeah, if you would have said Dolphin Highlands, I would have left.
No, Dolphin Highlands.
Well, same thing. Terrible.
I mean, but Galen Hall is just such a fun course to play. It's on the side of a mountain. It's an old design. It's quirky, but man, they just can't keep it in shape.
Never played Galen Hall. They have a very funny social media account.
I've also never played Galen Hall.
Whoever runs their social media account wouldn't say he's like a social media expert.
Well, he comes in. The guy who's running the place comes in to pull the pin all the time.
Does he?
He's friends with Dan.
Yeah.
And I mean that course is just.
He posts very often. He works very hard at his job. And I'm the only reason I don't even know where Galen Hall is. to be honest.
It's in Reading, just outside of Reading. It's a hike. It's probably on the border of that 45-minute run.
Yep.
But we should go up there and play.
Okay.
Like I think
if you suggest a course and say let's go play,
like
I'm gonna go play.
Mm-hmm.
if not for any other reason, just to see this old layout.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're gonna get there and this is what you're gonna say to yourself. Holy crap! Like people played this course with really old clubs.
With persimmon woods.
Exactly. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fun because you've got to be creative. Like you've got to do some things where you're like, I can't just hammer driver here because driver goes too far, and they've stretched it out a little bit. So, but I don't think that can be 5. We need a better 5.
I'd like to make a nomination for our 5th spot.
Great, because we got to keep moving.
Conditions wise, I don't think it is, but I think layout. It's a course I always enjoy playing. Personally, it's a course I play well. Honey Run.
Oh, I played there once. I've only played there once.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. I like that as 5. Of the York courses that I've had to play over the last couple of years, it's a ton of fun. Honey Run is
another great group of people that run that course. I've always had a great time.
Yep.
The bar there is iconic. It's not a nice bar, but that U-shaped bar, I've had a lot of good memories there.
Absolutely. Yep.
Are they memories?
That was my.
They are vaguely.
That was my first career Masters League victory.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I won back-to-back Masters there.
All right.
You guys get jackets?
I wish.
No. But I'm a 5-time major champion. Thank you very much.
I'm a one-time FedEx Cup champion.
All
right.
I got 2 of those too.
So, top 3 private courses in the area. Listen, we need to be careful with this, and only because there are some that really borderline the time limit of how long it takes to get there. Like Saucon Valley, Philly Cricket Club, they are not close enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't expect them to be.
I'm just throwing it out there. Okay. Aaron, let's start with you. Favorite private club?
Okay. I will at some point go on a tangent about media. I've been a member there for a while now, it's not anymore. It's not my top 3, but I will let you know at some point I will be going on a tangent.
Okay.
But my number 1, I had the privilege of caddying there for 3 years. Got to play it on Mondays. Played in the caddy there. Lancaster Country Club is just. I mean, it's.
I don't know that there's one that we're going to come up with that's better. Ledge Rock would be the only one close, and I don't think it's better.
But
that's so difficult.
Lancaster, I could go on and on about Lancaster. Like it's such a well-designed golf course. Like you have every ability to go low there. They make it obviously very, very tough. But you can go low there. Also, obviously, we saw in the U.S. Open, you can make big numbers. And I would like to defend Nelly. I've caddied there for 3 years, and I saw.
I would like to make my shout out to her, and if she sees this,
I'd like to shoot my shot on the podcast against 20 views.
I've seen hundreds or thousands of golf shots on that hole, and I've played that hole a bunch of times. It's the one shot at Lancaster that I still have absolutely no clue what's right. Like I have absolutely no idea.
Carlo, my guy, said sound is good, beers look better.
Yeah. Carlo, we need to talk.
So Lancaster, that hole in particular is just such a it's get your 3 and get the frick out of there. But Lancaster will always be probably number 1. There would be one other course that I would make a case for, just personal preference, but Lancaster is absolutely.
So my Ledge Rock is awesome. So if you want to talk about Ledge Rock,
you go ahead. I have a different one in mind.
Okay, so
and it's for the 3rd spot.
Lancaster is my number 1. I think Ledge Rock would be number 2 for me.
You played Lancaster, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, a good bit of times. I've been fortunate there. Anyway, Ledge Rock is just really cool. The layout's cool. It's a difficult course. I don't think the green complexes are as nice as Lancaster's, which is why I don't put them in the same category.
I really struggle with this. I agree with you guys. I think Lancaster's number 1. There's no golf course I enjoy more playing than Ledge Rock. You can play it from 6,000 yards. You can play it from 7,400 yards. It still presents its own challenges. I think.
But I think the same can be said for LCC.
No, LCC gets tremendously easier the further you go up.
I haven't played it very short.
You play it at like 6,000, which I had to in the Men of Iron event. I played okay and shot 68.
Okay.
You play the best round I've shot from the member tees is 70, and the best I've shot from the black, where I feel like I played exceptionally well, was 74.
Okay.
So I mean that goes from playing okay to being 2 under to playing really well and being 4 over.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
I've hit some of my favorite shots of all time at LCC, like hole 8 up the hill, from the back with blistering wind in my face on June 15th, my birthday, with 2 of my best friends and one of like a close family friend, and I put it to like 1.5 foot.
What did you hit? You had to hit like hybrid.
I hit 4 hybrid.
Yeah.
Like it was a 204-yard shot.
In the wind.
In the wind, it played like 215, 220. Yeah. And it's like one of the best shots I've ever hit in my life. And I did it like in the most ridiculous conditions. So like I just have moments like that at LCC.
Yeah.
I don't have those at Ledge Rock. And I haven't played Ledge Rock as many times. So like
Lancaster, I mean, Aaron and I had a pretty cool experience last year playing the semi and finals of match play with him on the bag. So I have memories like that. I've been to match play finals there twice. Haven't won it yet.
This year.
Hopefully this year. Yeah, right. No, I think we would have a good match. I think from the tips, and you get it in any kind of normal shape, it's definitely excellent. I think there's too many times where they punch a lot, so you can catch it on bad days. But I mean, Ledge Rock to me is very much like Royal Manchester. The first time I played Ledge Rock, I was like, oh my God, these are the best greens I've ever played all in my life. And I haven't had that experience with it recently. Again, for whatever reason, they slowed them down, whatever. They're very undulated. But I mean, the only the bar. I know the bar there is excellent. The practice area is excellent. The golf course is excellent. The only reason I will put Lancaster over Ledge Rock as number 17 is the dumbest hole ever at Ledge Rock. Just so bad.
Yeah,
so
you're
bad.
Not wrong.
I mean, there's just no good way to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We need a third. You said you had
I have it. They're definitely in the third slot. Very expensive, very short. Berkshire Country Club, and
Berkshire is so much fun.
And if Andrew was here, he would 100% back me.
Yeah, I'm gonna back you on that one. Berkshire is a ton of fun. You haven't gotten to play there, have you?
No, and I have one that I would eventually
review
for 3.
So Berkshire.
I mean, those greens are just unreal.
They really are.
I mean, I would say better than Lancaster. Not the complexes. How good they ran.
Okay.
I mean, they are
green
perfect.
Complexes, there's nothing that's
Aaron, what is yours? Because I wholeheartedly agree. We'll shout out Andrew on that one.
Yeah.
First of all, I want to shout out Lebanon. I don't think it's going to make the top 3, but it's awesome. I really like his private course. Yeah. But my favorite private course to play around here is Hershey West. Hershey West.
I hate Hershey.
You hate Hershey West? Hershey West.
No, and
just everything, just the history. I feel like I'm playing a piece of history when I play it. I really like the layout. I like that it's quirky.
That's 95% of the charm.
It's awesome.
It's not.
I feel like I get a different feeling when I drive into Hershey than when I do to Lancaster.
So,
I really do.
Oh man, no,
wow!
No,
I really do. I also visit Lancaster every day.
Right.
Yeah. But
so
I mean,
Hershey West,
that's out there statement.
I have serious scar tissue at Hershey West, which affects my vision at this.
I didn't make a bogey until my 20th hole playing Hershey West.
And
I still, so I mean, that's about as good as it gets, right? I mean, you just never make bogey on a course, but no, that course is. I'm not saying it's a bad course.
No, it's a nice course.
We're talking 95% height, courses. And those greens are not that good.
Hershey East is the worst course in the world.
I've played Hershey East once, and it's not my favorite.
All right,
Hershey West is a liability on the comes to the greens.
I like Hershey West. It's a cool course. You're right. There's history there. I can't have it in the top 3. Like right now, I think our top 3 is about perfect. The only thing I would say is if we were traveling a little further out, I've had the opportunity to play Saucon Valley. I've played all 3 courses there. If you get the opportunity, do it. Just go.
Other caveat: never played Country Club of York, so I can't.
Yes,
So I can't. So that might be in the top 3.
Yeah,
I did just sign up to play my U.S. Open qualifier there, so I'm looking forward to getting my head beat in there.
one of my good buddies, Eric, caddied for his buddy there in a qualifier, and says that it was absolutely awesome.
So that would be my only caveat. I think there are some runners up. There's definitely some honorable mentions that I'll just list. I think you got to do Outdoor Country Club as an honorable mention.
Yep.
Lebanon Country Club you already mentioned. I don't think Bent Creek. I just think with the layout, it's not. And I'm a member at Bent Creek. I don't think you. I think from a condition standpoint, yes, but from a layout, it's too penalizing for the average golfer.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with all those statements. All right. So I don't think we need top 5 for these, but best bang for the buck.
See, here's the thing: is like I'm not gonna go cheapest. I'm gonna go value. You know what I mean?
I said best bang for the buck.
Yeah.
I didn't say cheapest.
Yeah, I know, but like I think a lot of people will immediately go, "This is the course I played the cheapest at." I'm like, okay, but it's garbage.
Then go play Evergreen.
Yeah. Hey, Evergreen. Hey, if you're just into golf, Evergreen's not the worst place to go.
Please go to Evergreen if you're just getting into golf.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go a place that we haven't talked about yet. 4 Seasons.
Yeah, I'm in for that. I like 4 Seasons
It's
a lot.
You just broke me because that was not where I was going to go, but you're not wrong. That's absolutely the best bang for the buck.
Not expensive, fair layout. Anyone can play there.
The
Has a
only
nice
thing,
bar.
The only thing I hate about it is their bullshit par 5s now. Like
Just one of them is bullshit.
No, there's 2. 17 should not be a par 5.
17 was the hardest par 4 in the county before that.
No, hole 9 at Conestoga is the hardest par 4 in the county.
I mean, that's because you can't drive her.
Right, but 17 was not the hardest par 4 in the county. It was a tough par 4, but I don't think it's on a good par 5.
500-yard hole.
It's 470.
And 16 of me is 480. It's par 4 uphill.
That plays short.
No, it doesn't.
You get it up over that. Last time I played it, I went driver gap wedge last night.
Anyway.
We are consensus. 4 Seasons is absolutely that.
Yeah,
that answer. I love it. All right, worst bang for the buck.
I mean, I feel like we already covered it.
No, it's absolutely Highlands Donegal. Worst.
I've never played Highlands Donegal.
I mean, if anyone ever actually gave, I don't mind saying this because I don't care if they like fuck the guy from Pull the Pin. If anyone ever gave a shit about that golf course,
he's so good.
It would be so good.
It's
you cannot convince me that whoever's running that cares about their golf course.
It's such a shame because they do a couple of things.
They're not even allowed to host Lenko events anymore because of multiple reasons.
But the big shame is that the layout could be so perfect, and if anybody put any money into it, it'd be a great course. You can stretch it out.
Just gave a slight care at all about it.
Right. The tough thing there is I'll pay to play there because they do 10-minute tee times, and I've never played in over 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
See, that is something.
Because everyone's rushing to get home.
Well, no, if you go there on a Saturday and you take some beers with you, or even want to have some beers they can buy there, like you're gonna have a good time. Like,
I went to a D3 school. I can have fun with beer anywhere.
It
doesn't mean I want to play golf there.
I'm just telling you the fact that like I got 2 kids and a wife that I can't like stay at a golf course until 8 o'clock on a Saturday. If I can go in there and play in 3 hours and 45 minutes, have 2 beers and be leaving in 4 hours and 15 minutes, that is a different thing. Now, I don't disagree with you.
Still worst bang for your buck.
I have a
because it's usually not cheap either.
Worst bang.
It's not that bad. It's
$55 is too much to play that golf course.
Not when you're paying $90 to play Fox Chase. At the same time.
I would rather pay $90 to play Fox Chase.
Never, no chance. That course is so boring.
But at least the conditions.
I would have one that I feel like I'm cheating on somebody, but media just raised the gate. Then I know it's private, but they just raised their guest membership or the guest fee. It was $51, which was perfect. You could bring guests all the time, and I think they got too much guest play, which is why they're doing it. But they raised it to I think $73.
That's still not outrageous. The fact that Conestoga is 85
85 at Conestoga.
is outrageous.
But if I'm playing that much,
I'm gonna throw one here and
The worst.
Yeah, worst bang for the buck is Royal Oaks.
No, absolutely not. I disagree with that wholeheartedly.
That course is underwater every time I go to it.
It's wet, but it's a great layout. It's a fun course.
Oh my god, I've never played it where it's not flooded. Ever.
I've never played.
It's fine. I think it's a good
What
course.
is it to play there?
I disagree.
What is
It
it?
never costs anything to play there. I played there for like $30.
Dude, the last time I played there was 62
That's okay.
on a weekend.
That's fine for me.
All right,
There.
well,
I got consensus with that.
You're gonna drive the hour, spend a tank of gas, $62, and play a course that's underwater with a terrible practice facility.
Practice facility is not good, but I think the course itself is fun.
I don't agree. I have to go up there twice a year for high school golf. It is the worst course in the state of Pennsylvania.
Well, we all have
I also
And you've played Donegal. That's Donegal. That's what you're telling me.
I hate Royal Oaks. It is my least favorite course that I've
You've
ever
played 7, 8, and 9, correct? Like Highlands,
Yes.
Donegal.
I
Wow.
have,
I'm just double checking. I don't know if you only played 50 in the holes or not. But.
dude. I hate Royal Oaks.
Yeah, that's fine.
You okay?
I'm with my mic here. So bad.
Oh boy. The date was the date. All right.
Mhm.
All right. I think we've beaten that to death.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna disagree there.
3 topics in 10 minutes.
We haven't stuck to that since episode 1.
It's fine.
Our second
We're having
topic
too much fun, you know.
is gonna be our second putt is the best. The most important club?
Yes. What is the most important club to get fit for? So, I'd like to I'm gonna actually kind of humor you for a little bit, and
Okay.
just if you had to guess as a consumer, what would you say is the first club you're gonna get fit for?
I don't think I'm your normal consumer.
Okay, well, what's the first club you would want to get fit for?
For me, I need to get fit for a driver because that's the biggest problem I have in my
What do you
game.
think the average person is gonna say?
Irons.
Yep. I mean, I would put that third probably.
And I'm gonna bet that your answer is putter.
Nope.
Really?
Nope. You would see. That's what I expect you to say.
So
Is
no,
that-
I wouldn't say that just because.
Not you, but I think that's what the normal person would be like.
Right.
Oh, you're gonna say putter because it's putt for show or putt for dough.
No, I already.
The dumbest, least accurate phrase is drive for show, putt for dough.
Right.
For the average golfer.
Absolutely.
You know,
I agree.
I'm talking now. When I talk about what's the most important club to get fit for, I'm talking about it from the 10 to 30 handicap.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and let me break it down for you. So the first thing you said is that you'd say would be irons. Okay. Well,
For the normal consumer, yes.
for the normal consumer. First of all, most normal consumers either A, are too long where they're hitting, or they're long enough where they're hitting mostly wedges in, or if they're short, they're probably not even playing a lot of irons. They're probably playing hybrids anyway.
We're talking most.
We're talking most important driver. So I'd like to hear your opinion on this. What you've been now fitting for almost a year.
Yeah.
9 months.
Yeah.
You've worked under me. We've done a lot of mentorship and stuff.
Yep.
What would you say is the most important club to get fit for?
I think there's a right answer. I think there's a fun answer. I think the right answer is putter.
Okay.
But I think I would say driver over irons personally,
Mhm.
because I think that
Mm-hmm.
golf
Sorry.
is if you can't get off the tee,
Mhm.
you will not have fun playing golf.
Right.
It's not if you can hit a really good drive and kind of hack your way to the green.
Valley, so shout out Berkshire. Sorry.
But if you can get off the tee well, you can hack your way to the green. I think it's a lot harder the other way around versus if you're going OB or you're dribbling it off the tee. That's just not.
That was my answer. I thought that I agreed that driver for me specifically was the big one.
Right. So let me break this down for you. Putter is not the number one answer.
No.
Putter is the number two answer. So
Behind.
driver.
Okay.
Yeah. 9.
Okay. No. So Ty had said irons.
Mm-hmm.
Now in a full bag fitting, we start with irons because we like to be able to mold. We want to know what's the longest iron we're going to play and the shortest iron we're going to play, so we can figure out where to go from there.
Yep.
If you were to do a full bag fitting in pieces, Like I'm not talking like you come in the next day and get fit, but like I'm gonna get fit for the most important club, then the next important club, then the next important club, and then the next important club until you finish your bag. 100% it should be driver first, and from a strokes gain standpoint, it's almost undeniable. So, again, I'm talking about. I told Ty this. I'm talking for players 10 handicap to 30.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then yes, I would be
Yeah.
driver 100%.
If you're talking tour pros, probably. I still think it's probably driver, but you might make the argument putts because it's like
that's how you.
1/10 plus putt can mean hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
But strokes gain wise, it's undeniably the driver because. And let me break it down. I'm not going to bore you guys with stats, but let me just say this real quick. Give you an example of this. If you keep the ball in play 100% of the time, and say you hit 18 greens and 3 putt every green, you shoot 90.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you are on 14 of the 18 holes, meaning the ones you hit driver, either chipping out or re-teeing or taking a penalty, and reaching the green in 3 or 4 and 2 putting, you are now shooting worse than if you hit every green and 3 putt. Yeah. So, in theory, you could shoot 90 with 54 putts, or you could shoot 100 with 40 putts or 36 putts. When you look at strokes gained, and it's very simple. It's about how far you hit it / how straight you hit it. If you can add. We look at our fittings, right? When a guy has speed, if there's no speed involved, it's a senior player. Not saying senior players shouldn't get fit for driver, but there's only so much you can get. There are senior players that come in, they're swinging at 70 miles an hour. I want to hit 240. I'm like, that's not physically possible. I'm sorry. But if someone's swinging at 100 miles an hour and they're hitting driver 220, it's there's clearly something wrong there with the equipment. Yeah. So if you can get someone hitting it crooked, slicing at 220 and hitting him, and this is a large jump, but saying they're swinging over 100 miles an hour, hitting 270 in play, I'm not even saying straight, in play, those 50 yards you gain them, plus a little straighter dispersion, is going to gain them way more strokes than taking their putting from 36 to 35. So I think the expected answer would be putter. Now, it is still the second most important. So if I was getting fit for a bag, over a long period of time, I would get fit for the driver first, putter second, irons third, wedges fourth.
I agree.
And the only reason I say wedges after irons, I'm not saying the short game is least important, but you need to know what wedges you need to carry. If you buy wedges first, you buy 52, 56, 60, and then you get a set of irons with 43-degree pitching wedge, you're buying wedges again. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So just from a consumer standpoint, it doesn't make sense. So, and I'm not going to belabor that point. I think we already have gone way over the timeline on the first part, but I think it's a fun little note to be, if you're looking to improve your game the most through an equipment purchase, I would be taking a first look at your driver and then your putter.
Yeah. I'm not crying about the timeline. Honestly, that's why this podcast is fun, right? Yeah. We can get lost. We can go down a rabbit hole or two. I think it's interesting for a good golfer though to look at their situation, right? I'm a prime example of that as somebody who got fit this year. I was telling Tommy before we got on the air that just the fact of when I was playing blades the last couple of years and not getting to practice as much, I wasn't able to hit a knockdown shot.
Right.
Yeah. Because I wasn't able to find that tiny little sweet spot on the blade anymore.
Right.
And that had everything to do with the fact that I just wasn't getting out and practicing as much. But getting fit and getting yourself in the correct situation for your game is so important. My game is going to be so much more diverse this year than it has been in quite some time.
Well, you're such a cool, when it comes to the testimony for fitting, you're such a cool case because you weren't playing old clubs. You were actually playing new clubs.
Right.
But not fitted clubs.
Right.
Which is a big difference. Your irons were 4 years old because you bought them. Emily bought them from me right as I started.
Yep.
Yeah, well, it was 2020 because that's when I took over. Yep. And then you had a demo driver from us from 2022 or 2021, but regardless. So it's not like you were playing old equipment. You just weren't playing equipment that was suited to you.
Right. And we bent the irons a little bit to fit me a little bit.
2 degrees up, right?
Right. And so that was that was the extent of my fitting because financially we couldn't afford to do the rest. And Tommy was awesome and took care of us.
Oh, you mean your original
Yeah,
irons?
my original ones.
I was
yeah.
like, we definitely did more than that. With
Oh, no, no, no,
new
no, no,
irons.
no,
I was like,
no, no,
I was like,
no.
yeah, no, that's not what our fitting process is at
No,
all.
no. The blades that we're talking about.
Yeah.
And prior to those blades, I was playing MP54s that I played for about 3 years. And before that, I was playing MP731s. The MP54s I was fit into, and they were bent to my specs. The Titleist PM731s I was never fit into, and they were butter knives.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I got into the MP54s and almost hit them too good.
Mm-hmm.
And went back to blades because I was like, I'm playing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And should have never done that.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Like, and now it's going to be.
MP20s are so sick.
Well,
Dude,
you
they
know
are
what though? Like, I don't mind it for like as much as it probably didn't maximize your performance over the last 3 years. You're going to be a better golfer for it now because you're going to go from somewhere where you had to be perfect to all of a sudden you don't have to be perfect, but you're used to having to be perfect. So,
Well, just think about when we're at Enjoy.
Yeah.
And the amount of shots I hit,
Yeah,
I
but-
go, oh, God!
Yeah,
And
but I
then it's
can't,
like right
I
next
can't
to
wait
the wall.
till there's actual turf interaction, though.
Yeah.
And, like, you catch one thin or a little heavy, and you're like, oh, it's going to be terrible. And then you catch the front of the green.
Right.
But I actually, the one caveat, maybe this is a personal thing. The only thing I would put above irons, and I would say driver, putter, and then whatever you chip with. But the club you primarily chip with.
Yeah.
So, like, for me, that's a 60 degree.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I should always use 60 degree, but it's the one I'm more likely going to pull out of the bag. Getting the right grind in that is definitely really important. And if that's your 56, if that's your pitching wedge, whatever, the club you use around the green the most should be third, and then go in irons and so on and so forth.
Right now it says we have 3 people watching. If you're watching, what club do you want to get fit for next?
Yeah, I'll be happy to answer any questions about fitting, the fitting process, or some of our favorite clubs. I mean, Aaron and I both do YouTube, so we've both done a lot of club reviews in the last 2 months.
I would even, going back to the best club to get fit for. I even had like a guy today. I fit a guy today. It was full bag, and he was. You just kind of ask about their golf game, kind of see where they're losing strokes, what their misses are, stuff like that. And and this guy said that, but I mean, it happens in 75% of my full bag fittings where they say the irons are, definitely could be improved, but the driver is where I'm losing strokes. And perfect example, this guy, like his irons were definitely not right for him, but like he could have gotten away with them for probably a little bit longer.
He's probably losing a stroke here and there.
A stroke here and there, but then driver, I mean, it was
pretty remarkable.
It was spinning at 4,300.
Yeah.
Spinning at
I had my head peeked in and out of the fitting.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely short and right.
Short and right, and it wasn't a bad swing. That's the thing. If you're swinging, 15 degrees across it with a super open club face, like at a certain point, then it becomes a swing thing.
Yeah.
But his swing wasn't bad.
Yeah.
We ended up getting him in a Mizuno STG with like a Tensei 1K black, I think. I don't want to nerd out on it.
Regardless, he went from short right, maybe 220, to he was carrying it over 240,
he
and
was up to 285
because the spin was so low, it was like 270 total.
Yeah, he got that spin under control.
So I mean, that's a perfect example. I mean,
yeah.
And he was definitely hitting it straighter too.
Oh yeah. 100%.
So I mean, we're gaining anywhere from 40 to 50 yards and in play.
Yeah.
Just think about even if they're both in play, right?
Raleigh says my JR. So I think he means 2 iron. No.
So, well, I'll get into that then because I hate 2 irons unless you're Aaron Snyder.
Whoa.
No.
I love my 2 iron.
Yeah, but hear me
He
out.
says my irons are 2 degree down, and the first time I hit them in the fitting, I couldn't believe how much better it instantly felt.
2 down, I assume he means 2 flat,
Mm-hmm.
which makes sense because he was coming from away from the inside. That may be something, Andrew. You were actually hitting it great against Ty, but if you start to see it leaking out to the left, it might be time to change lie angle because your swing has changed so dramatically. You were coming from the inside slinging it, and now all of a sudden you're trying to hit those cuts. 2 flat might not be the right thing for you anymore. If you start to see wavering shots, I would love to get you on a live board and see what's
I don't know. You were 5 up at one point.
Yeah. But
I brought it back. I lost by 1.
To bring it back to what Aaron said with the fitting today, this is a very, very good example of what I'm talking about. Like, so let's say the average par 4 is 375 yards.
Yeah.
I feel like that's fair. Like a non-drivable par 4 in the area, an overlook, a box chase. You're playing the normal set of tees. You hit one 220 in play even. You have 150 yards in. That'd be an 8 iron, a 7 iron. Some people will try to hit pitching wedge and come up short, but whenever they say they hit 150, let's say 8 or 7 iron, you start hitting it 270 down the middle, you now have 105 in.
Yeah.
That is a sand wedge, gap wedge.
Yep.
I mean, if I give you gap wedge on every hole and 7 iron on every hole, how much better are you going to score?
Absolutely, I agree 100%.
So, I mean, and even if you want to talk PGA Tour level, like you got a 500-yard par 5, a par 4, and you're hitting it 280 or 320. That is the difference between hitting 220 in, or sorry, hitting 220 in and 180 in. That's the difference between a potential wood and a 7 iron.
Yeah, and for most amateur golfers that aren't, scratch or better, or not scratch or better, but just not great.
Damn it! I just thought of something else.
Like
I thought of something else. You know what they should get fit for before driver? Golf ball.
Yeah.
But you kind of need to get fit for the other things before you get fit. Yeah. If you get fit for golf ball first, then get fit for everything else, the golf ball is going to be different. So we'll get that.
But with the number one goal for amateurs, and I am an amateur. I'm going to put that out there. But and it sounds like
for the average golfer.
Yeah, it sounds like, well, duh. The goal should be get to the green as fast as you possibly can, and driver helps you do that more than irons.
Yeah,
and that's kind of the main thing that I go to.
I think it's interesting. I also think without any fitting knowledge, I am a TrackMan U graduate, but I think it's interesting to point out. I've had this conversation a couple times over the last couple of weeks, specifically with getting new irons and some new clubs in my bag. People are like, "Well, are you a good golfer?" And I think that's a topic for another day. But I want to point out that yes, I'm a very good golfer. Like, Tommy is an excellent golfer. Aaron is an excellent golfer. Understand that shooting in the 90s means you're a good golfer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Legitimately shooting in the 90s.
Make sure that you don't make
I think that's an important caveat. Legitimately shooting in the 90s.
Agreed. But make sure that you are not beating the crap out of yourself. If you're out there playing by the rules and shooting in the 90s, you are a good golfer if you're doing that. The game is really hard.
I've played with a lot of bad golfers who can shoot 95, 90, but actually shoot 95, 90. And I've played a lot of good golfers that shoot 85, who shoot 102. Yeah. And if I have a member guest, I'm taking the guy shooting legitimately 90, who I know can scrap his way around, versus the guy who says he shoots 85 and then screws me in handicap.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's a different game when all of a sudden the ball's got to touch the bottom of the cup.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, the game changes dramatically. Anyway, you got some literature on this next topic?
Yes,
so we can get through it?
Yeah.
All right, so our last putt of the day, I think we sank the first two. The first one was a long putt. The second one we got through pretty quick and gave you guys a bunch of knowledge on some fitting stuff. The third putt is, Aaron, I'm going to butcher it again. Go ahead.
Okay, so if we took the top golf performance brands in the world as far as clubs, and we took and there was a 4-man scramble between all of them, at the same course, same conditions, same day. And it was a four-man scramble. Which brand would win, basically? So if you took the top 4 golfers.
The brands we have in play: Callaway, TaylorMade, Srixon, Ping, Cobra, Titleist. We didn't have enough guys from Mizuno. We actually didn't even think about it.
Maybe PXG would have a couple guys.
PXG might have a few, but
I think it's
Wilson might have a handful, but these are the major brands that you think of.
Wilson,
So I don't even know who you'd go with that, but.
So you're going to rattle off who we have on
this
team.
Okay, so we'll keep it super simple. On Team Callaway, we have John Rahm, Xander Schauffele, Sam Burns, Terrell Hatton.
It's a good squad.
Terrell Hatton is now with Callaway because Legion 13 is all Callaway.
It's a good squad.
So no longer a Ping guy.
Yep.
Okay.
We're going to go ahead and probably say our favorites.
Yeah.
Team TaylorMade.
Yeah, absolutely.
Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, Colin Morikawa, Tommy Fleetwood.
It's tough to say that's not the favorite.
And again, it is a scramble. So
yeah.
Keep that in mind. Team Srixon, low-key, a dark horse.
Low-key, top 3.
I'm waiting for somebody to watch this podcast this deep and get mad that we didn't put Tiger on Team Taylor.
Oh no, we talked about that, but we're talking about best players right now, not all time.
No, I
because we
agree.
also left Phil off of Callaway.
Well, hey, listen, and Tiger didn't play TaylorMade when he was the best player in the world.
Tiger also hasn't played 18 holes in a long time.
Right. I don't want him on the team. I'm waiting for somebody that has.
Someone's gonna say these guys don't know shit. They left Tiger Woods off the team.
Anyway, sorry. Team Strix on. Go.
Team Strix on, very underrated. Hideki, Brooks Koepka, Shane Lowry, Keegan.
Like that's a
Keegan
good
Bradley.
team, dude.
That's.
I know who the hell Keegan is.
Yeah.
Like
I was forgetting his
the
last.
best
I was
mustache in the
I was
world.
blanking on his last name for a minute there.
like
Mr. America.
Hideki's a top 5 player in the world.
I don't know if he's top 5 right
top
now.
10.
All right, okay. Let's keep going through the
Keep
teams.
going.
Team Ping, also very strong. Victor Hovland, Tony Finau, Sahith Theegala, Joaquin Neiman.
Yeah, good team. And then Titleist.
No, we got Team Cobra.
We
struggled through Team
I
Cobra.
love this team.
Max Homa, Ricky Fowler, Gary Woodland, and either a combination of Kyle Berkshire or Ches Reavie.
In a scramble,
I'm just about to say, if we're playing a scramble,
You're taking
Kyle
Kyle
Berkshire is.
I mean,
not a bad
they might be the
player.
dark horse, honestly.
I mean, Max Homa is a great short iron.
Hasn't
Other
played
than
well
the
of late.
fact that he's been terrible lately.
Mhm.
All right.
Now, Team Titleist, I have to give a caveat. If you go to the Titleist website and say who is a Titleist ambassador,
Well, yeah, you can't
it's
do that.
everyone because
they.
everyone plays the Pro V1. So we made sure, I made sure we went with predominantly Titleist player, like clubs.
All clubs, yep.
Ludwig Aubert, Wyndham Clark, Justin Thomas, who is a top 10 player in the world right now, believe it or not.
He's actually played
He's
well.
played really well.
Patrick Cantlay.
Ludwig Aberg is going to be. He's not right now, but I think in the next 2 years is going to. And this is my Scotty Scheffler call from a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ludwig Aberg is going to end up being a top 5 player in the next 3 years.
Oh,
I mean, that's not that should happen this year. That's
I mean, if he
No,
that's
but
not a
I
hot
mean-
take. I don't.
But
feel
I
like.
mean, stay there.
Yeah. I
if
mean,
he can lock down
Okay.
his putting,
I have a hotter take than that. In the next 15 years, we will look back at this generation. Scotty Scheffler will be this generation's Tiger Woods. Ludwig Aberg will be this generation's Phil Mickelson, who would have been Tiger Woods if it wasn't for Tiger Woods.
They're too far apart in age.
Are they?
Yeah.
I mean, I know Ludwig is.
But you know what I mean, though. Like
I get it.
the
but
majority of
I
their
think-
primes are going to
I
overlap.
think Scotty's going to block.
I think Scotty's going to block a lot of what.
Ludwig's 25.
Yeah, and Scotty's like 28.
Yes, I don't think Scotty's 30 yet.
Scotty's not
Not
30
30
yet.
Scotty's 30.
I'm definitely
All right.
older than Scotty Scheffler.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So I think that
I don't hate
Ludwig,
that then. I
Ludwig-
thought there was a little bit more of a difference in
I think
age.
Ludwig would be
He's
that
pretty-
next.
Scotty
Would
Scheffler's
that Ludwig would be that next guy? Except for this, there's this guy that plays golf. His name's Scotty Scheffler, and he has God on his
What
side.
the heck?
He just hit a
that
sprinkler
ball just
head.
hit?
Sprinkler head.
Okay, I can get behind that.
Yeah,
I think.
because he will stomp you out and then read you a Bible verse and tuck you into bed.
And Ted Scott right behind him.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Ted Scott's giving sermons on Sundays.
Hey,
Wow.
listen, there is nobody in this room right now
Mhm.
who believed in Scotty Scheffler more a couple years ago.
That's true.
I've heard that. Yeah.
That is true.
So-
He has video
so-
evidence of it too.
So
I
think,
do. I throw it up there too.
Mm-hmm.
I think my top 3 would be teams wise would be TaylorMade would win. I think Titleist would get second, and then I think Strixon would get third. But I want to. If
Can you reread the Callaway team to me?
Rahm, Xander, Burns, Hatton.
No, Callaway is second.
second?
I would say
I'd take
TaylorMade,
Titleist over
Callaway,
I take Titleist over Callaway.
and then Cobra because Kyle Berkshire.
That's
is
what I'm
at
saying.
the bottom.
If Kyle Berkshire's in
you,
playoff,
can, you can tell the Ties had 1 or 2 beers.
if he's in playoff the tee, they have 100 yards, not 100, but they have 80 yards less than everybody else. Well, I guess Rory's pretty long, I guess.
Now, you still watching? Who do you like in this? Come on.
Okay.
Come on, Mr. Titleist.
I'm gonna go in a totally different direction than both of you.
There's no surprise there, Tommy.
Are you not going to have TaylorMade win?
We're talking about scramble, right?
Yeah.
Before we go any further, like we're not talking about 4-ball. We're talking about
No,
scramble.
we're talking about shrimp.
So TaylorMade has Scotty, Rory, who else?
Scotty, Rory, Colin, Fleetwood.
And Tommy Fleetwood.
Tommy Fleetwood's little weak link.
Yeah,
there.
obviously.
The only guy they have that is a clutch putter in that entire group is Scotty.
He's not even that good a putter.
So I don't know that TaylorMade wins a scramble.
The thing is, I think you give 4 tour players 4 looks at a putt.
But we're not playing it that way. It's a scramble.
Yeah,
I know. I just mean, I think any of the players in this situation, but if there's one guy who's extremely clutch as a putter, trying to think the teams again.
Zan, I mean,
Callaway.
I like Callaway's team more than you guys, apparently.
Yeah.
Maybe that's because I'm playing AI 200s all this.
I mean, there's definitely some
that's
brand
why I
loyalty.
think Chase 30. Because I feel like Zach said it. I mean, I love Hideki. I love Chase.
All right, Tommy, you said you were going a different direction. Let's hear it.
Third place, I have TaylorMade.
Okay.
And I wasn't going to say that, but Ty convinced me because I don't think they have the best putter. I don't know how important in a scramble that is. I think probably one of the 4 of them makes a putt.
Andrew says, my gut was the same as Aaron's, but I agree with the Kyle Berkshire take.
I'm going to say third is TaylorMade.
Okay.
Second is Callaway.
Okay.
And I think Ping wins.
Who's on the Ping team again?
Sahith.
Tony Finau, when he wants to bomb it, can bomb it. No, but
Victor Hovland's not playing
okay.
at all.
He just won a FedEx Cup 2 years ago. Let's calm down.
Yeah, but
That was less than 14
So we have
months
Sahith,
ago.
we have Kyle.
No, but think about Tony Finau though as a scramble player. He hovers at 182. When he wants to, he's like 195 ball speed.
yeah.
He can bomb it and he can putt.
Listen, I love
you were
Sahith.
so Ping sucking off the last couple.
Victor,
I've said this. Sahith is my favorite PGA Tour golfer.
I know you said it on this podcast.
I love
talking, but think about you ever watch Bogey Bros, the wedgie guy.
Yes.
So it's the 2 friends that they just do things, but he's the wedgie guy in a scramble. Like Sahith is the wedgie guy. He's just like, hey, we all duffed our chip. Can you chip this in real quick? Yeah, done. So he's got that. Then you got Joaquin Niemann is an all-around great player.
Yeah, he's an all-around really good
I am out on Joaquin.
He lost to Rick Shields.
I was way in on Joaquin a couple years back.
He just won last week.
I get it. I understand. I don't.
Who's he with? That's who I want.
Rye?
Yeah.
He takes some guns off the chip, thank God.
We'll probably puts him back on the putt.
Yeah. I don't know. Joaquin, and I'm also guilty that I don't watch a ton of live golf. He has not been good at majors, and that's what I've been watching.
Kind of like John and Callaway.
But then, okay, and then I'm going to say Victor. But Victor and Neiman, we can both agree. Victor's a weaker putter, but are both very well-rounded players.
All right, let's change the perspective.
Mm-hmm.
4-ball?
No.
Kyle
Berkshire.
No.
We are staying scramble.
Yeah.
Okay.
Top prize is $1 billion to split between the 4.
That changes things.
That changes
Wait, go through the teams.
Yeah, we got to go back here.
And TaylorMade wins because Scotty Scheffler doesn't miss anything.
Callaway. Rahm, Xander, Burns, Hatton.
I'm just trying to think of who are some
TaylorMade. Scotty, Rory, Colin Morikawa, Fleetwood. Srixon, Hideki, Brooks. Hideki, Brooks, Lowry.
Brooks. Brooks for Billy?
I mean, that changes everything. We went from a scramble to we're playing for something.
Yeah.
So,
Billy on the line.
that turns him on.
He's in major.
I mean, that guy's winning live events like it's his job because he might have got 300 mil, but he wants an extra 4 every time.
Yeah.
Here's my thing.
Wait. Ping, Victor, Finau, Thagala, Neiman.
That
does not sound as good right now. None of them have won a major.
Yeah, they're out.
Yeah.
Here's
Homa, Fowler, Woodland, Berkshire, but absolutely out.
Absolutely out.
Aubert, Wyndham, JT, Cantlay. Only 2 of them have won majors, but Aubert also got second in the Masters.
JT's a dog, man.
He's gone. He's past his prime.
So my thing. Here's why I don't think
you
Taylor
can't
wins. I think Scotty cares. Scotty's in it for the love of the game. He wants to win because he wants to win big tournaments. He doesn't care about the money.
You really flipped this on its head. Like, I don't even have Ping in the top 3 anymore.
No.
When it was just like a scramble at Fox Chase, I was like, yeah, he's got the wedgie guy, but like, I don't want the wedgie guy in $1 million scramble.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I mean, Brooks Koepka's a dog.
You
got Brooks Koepka and Hideki, who's just a robot.
He's probably
Shane Lowry won a fucking Open.
Yeah. Well, not just no, I didn't even get to him.
Yeah, I know.
But like, I mean, think about it. Like, Brooks is gonna knock out
Captain America,
and Keegan's just gonna walk down there and be like, "Follow me, boys," with my mustache.
They got
And he has the most outrageous major win of all time in the PGA. So
they have leadership in
man.
Keegan. They have.
I think I'd go Srixon, Callaway, TaylorMade.
I think Xander's a sleeper in the billion.
I mean, Rahm and Xander together
is
is
a cold,
man.
Love it, dude. Yeah.
If you watch,
I was about to drop an MF there.
If you watch it in like the Bob Does Sports, you can tell Xander he does not want to lose.
Dude,
Yeah.
that is my favorite Bob Does Sports ever because he talks so much smack.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
awesome.
I am gonna put Callaway or Srixon.
I'm okay with that.
I think both, because I think you got like Xander's proven he's a cold dude.
Yep.
Won 2 majors last year,
And John
which
Rahm
matches
is-
Brooks, right? Matches Brooks. But if I'm saying who's better right now, Xander Schauffele's better than Brooks.
Okay, yep.
Okay. Then you've got Rahm.
Clubfoot Rahm is going to beat anybody. That tells
Rahm
me
is going
to.
to. Rahm has as many majors and is as more clutch than Hideki, Lowry, or Keegan.
You love that. You like that. Yeah.
Right? Like, we're taking Rahm over Hideki, Lowry, or Keegan,
Who
right?
else is on Callaway? Sam Burns.
And yeah, Sam Burns, that's a drop off, but Hatton's a dog too.
Hatton's a dog.
Hatton is.
It's going to be Xander Rahm show. It's going to be Xander Rahm.
Yeah, it's got to be because Hatton's going to implode, especially with a Billy on the line.
No.
Hatton's going to stick his club in the ground and drop an F-bomb and scream. Like,
he's like Fleetwood. Do you know how many DP World Tour wins he has? Like big DP World Tour wins?
Just listen to what you just said.
I know, but like,
how many big DP World Tour?
I will tell you this. I'll tell you this.
There's still big wins.
And live events.
If there's money or anything big important on the line, I'm not taking a team that doesn't have Brooks Koepka on. I just think
that guy. Man.
Yeah.
He's that dude.
But he's not like Scotty though. Like he's never gone out and shot like 61, 61, 61 to win a major.
Do you remember that page?
He just out grinds people. We're talking about a scramble here. His game doesn't match up with winning a scramble for a Billy. Yeah, if you want to go play, I don't know.
Yeah, him
the hardest golf course.
Aaron Hills.
Yeah, him one-on-one against somebody for a Billy. I'm taking him.
Yeah.
All right, well, okay, let's go one step further.
Okay.
It's a Billy, and it's at
a U.S. Open venue.
Pointed at Earth.
A U.S. Open venue.
Yeah, what U.S.
In
Open
condition.
venue?
Torrey Pines. Not Torrey Pines.
No, I don't want to hear Matt talk about Torrey Pines. I don't want to say Bethpage because that's where the Ryder Cup. That's going to be a very tough shot out of that bunker.
Yeah,
Bethpage is a great venue. Whistling Straits.
Oakmont.
What's that Oakmont this year? So
yeah. Oakmont.
I still think
it's Callaway. I think.
Wait, it's still scrambled?
Yeah, it's still scrambled, but I still think the combination of Xander and Rahm is still more than Xander, or than as much of a badass as Brooks is. Like, the sheer firepower of Xander and Rahm is enough to overcome that.
For me, it's between it's 2 dog races.
And like, let's be real. I love Keegan Bradley. He's a major winner. He's about to lead us to the Ryder Cup. He is not the Ryder Cup captain if there's no full swing.
Yeah.
No, but that was post getting. I agree, the mustache.
Dude, the mustache
it is fuego.
We threw up an image of him in the last podcast
but if full swing's not a thing, he's not the Ryder Cup captain.
Can that be the weekly thing?
Keegan Bradley's mustache goes on every podcast.
But my thing with the reason I take Srixon over Callaway, and I agree that it's one of those two that's going to win.
Because you're a staff ambassador.
Well, okay. But I think that with Callaway, it's 2 people, and then it's a considerable drop off with Sam Burns and who's the last guy on Callaway? Hatton, yeah.
Hatton's a bad motherfucker.
But then you go to Srixon, and you got Brooks.
We made it 2 episodes without the F-bomb.
I've dropped it at least 3 times. But you had to know that was going to happen. You knew that was going to happen.
We did. No.
Brooks for Strickson is gonna be the leader for them. But then they have Hideki, who's one of the top ball strikers on planet Earth. Like that dude
Hideki can't putt at all.
He can go first. He can be the first putter.
That's
And
actually, yeah.
And then
Wait,
third, you got Shane.
Does
Lowry.
Hideki have his fast back front? He won that WGC and shot 61 the final day. Because that's different. If he has that, I'm in on it. But as long as
For Billy, he's got that.
Yeah.
as long as no, he doesn't. He's probably got some center shafted blade that he can't putt with.
Center captain Scotty.
Yeah.
That Scotty didn't want to make.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you have 4 top-notch golfers. Because Shane Lowry is, I think, underrated in the entire golf, like the spectrum of.
Yeah, if we're playing an Open championship, I'm taking Shane Lowry. I'm not taking him in a U.S. Open.
I think those 4 combined beat the 2 from Callaway. And I'm not saying Sam Burns and Terrell Hatton won't contribute at all, but I think it's going to be a team effort from Strickson.
Let's look at this from the ground up. Your worst player on Callaway is Terrell Hatton.
No.
On Payne.
Callaway. He's with Callaway now.
That's right. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Your worst player on Callaway is Terrell Hatton. Your worst player on Strickson is Keegan Bradley. That goes to Callaway. If you're going head to head.
He's not wrong.
Okay. Then you got Sam Burns versus Shane Lowry.
Shane Lowry.
I'm taking Lowry.
I'm taking Lowry all day.
Okay. Hideki versus Rahm.
And for the Billy, I'm taking Rahm.
And then Xander versus Brooks.
Yeah.
But by how much?
I'm taking not by that much.
Yeah.
I'm also not taking Rahm by that much over
But
Hideki.
for me,
I'm taking Shane a lot.
For me,
over
it's
Xander.
Hatton over Keegan by a lot. And it's Rahm over Hideki by a lot.
And if I'm betting on this event,
yeah,
I'm betting on Brooks
because of the odds. I'm betting on Cobra.
What 30 plus 30?
I mean, yeah, if you're trying to, you want value.
$1 on Cobra for.
Let's just get Wilson involved at that point.
Yeah.
Ben Kruger's their only guy.
Let's get Tacoma. Ryan Brooks.
You get Keith Mitchell.
I don't like to donate money. I don't make donations.
All right.
I mean, I'd rather take Tacoma over Wilson.
Luke Long, Ryan Rose, Grant Horvat.
I mean, that's not.
Dude, that's not a
That's
terrible
not a bad
group.
team.
That's not a bad
Like
team.
we're talking about a scramble here, and like weirder things have happened. Yeah.
What was that?
Maybe not for a Billy.
Yeah.
Oh
not for a
no!
Billy.
Oh no! If we're playing for a Billy, I want Rick Shields. He was taking home those skins like crazy.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if we're playing for a Billy,
Yeah.
you call Phil up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You get Phil in
That's
there.
a lot of gambling.
Well, that you know what? You changed the whole thing because now it's not like I'm not looking at the world rankings. I'm like, who's gonna fucking play for that dough, man?
Yeah, man.
Like,
You got that.
So
Make that
Who's
Billy
got-
an
like, I'm
option.
just saying-
Carroll gets taken off for Phil.
I mean, God, who does Bernhard Langer play for? Like, that's what I want to know.
Torres.
No, I might just take Torres. Yeah,
Oh, tell John Daly there's a Billy on the line, and all of a sudden it
Oh,
doesn't work
God.
out for the first
Yeah.
time in 40 years. All right.
Tiger.
We have absolutely made all 3 of these putts. I want to thank Tommy from Pull the Pin for being
Thank you
here.
for having
Great to
us.
have you.
Yep.
I want to thank Aaron from Pull the Pin and from Enjoy, as I forgot the last time. Hopefully we'll be back next week. Comment, subscribe, share. Let us know what you guys want to hear. We'll throw a couple of topics out there that we get in messages. Check out our Instagrams. I'm at By the Book or Bucket Hats and Birdies. Tommy
Pull the Pin
AKS Golf.
AKS Golf. We'll see you again next week. Thank you all for being here. I hate that I have to get up to turn it off though.
I like the noises you make.